Hello. I thought I would give you some context for those videos that I put up of the trenders messing with me um at the Wimixons March. So first of all, uh I posted them how they occurred. The first one was the theyby, let's call him the theyby. And then the next one was the dumb shit Tim. Okay. Hi. Do you want to come up? Do you want to come up here? Come here. No? Come here. Come here. Come here. He came up. Okay, so they came on up. The theyby. I think he was tipped off that there were turfs in the area because he just immediately started walking by us and was like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. He did say fuck you, turfs. And he was like giving us all these, giving me and Delaney, that's my friend in the video that you heard, doing all these like doing all these fucking hand signals. And I was like, I speak American Sign Language, bro. You want to talk? And then he did come over and start talking to us. And he was extremely condescending. And he did actually do this. He pointed at me and he was like, you don't know what you're talking about. And I'm like, actually, I do. I know exactly what I'm fucking talking about. And you can see in the video, I didn't count how many times, but if you want to go to the video and count, I asked him, can you define what a woman is without using stereotypes? And he did say, like, a woman is anyone who says they're a woman. Like, no, that's not how we define words. You don't define a word. You don't use the word that you're defining in the definition. Duh. And I loved how Delaney fucking corrected his Latin pronunciation. LOL! But so then I did pull out this sign, and I honestly think that it got to him. Like, I really do. This is the Rebecca Mott recreation into a sign. So over here it says rape, honor killings, 70% of the world's poor, female genital mutilation, economic exploitation, female infanticide, sexual slavery. I added girl brides, lesbian erasure, obstetric violence, highest illiteracy, and misogyny, political underrepresentation. And then I made it a girly ass finger because a lot of women are doing this bullshit and perpetuating her pain. I made it a girly hand. But it could be a Tim's hand, couldn't it? Pointing and saying cis privilege, okay? And this is by Rebecca Mott. I forgot to write that. And I had to write it when I was already there. But anyway, when I pulled this out, I was like, here, this sign. This sign's for you. I could tell that it got to him. Like, he was, like, very taken aback by this sign. And it got to me, too, when I was a liberal, y'all. It did, okay? I saw this image, and I was like, I'm never saying cis privilege again, because it's such fucking bullshit. None of that is a privilege. That's the whole point of this image, okay? But so, he was a baby, and Delaney said that she felt like she was getting through to him as well. You know, she said, like, well, why don't we just, obviously you're uncomfortable, you know, however you want to be, and why don't we just expand what it means to be male instead of going with gender. And, like, things were, like, heated, right, obviously, but then this guy, what am I going to call this? This might have been like the male protection instinct. I don't know. This guy showed up like with a clipboard, holding a clipboard. Okay. Wow, he had a clipboard. And he was like gonna ask us about some like he wasn't even gonna ask us anything. He just like kind of approached. And then the baby like literally like walked right up to this guy. Probably honestly because he was male. Like me being a female and Delaney being a female and us holding, and there was another gal there, who was radical, and she was so happy to find new radicals because she hadn't found any radicals yet, which is very exciting. You can find us. We're out there, okay? But so I think he was just uncomfortable with me being a woman, you know, obviously asserting my opinion. And that's why he like walked right up to this guy, and he was like, they are just like this guy, you know, when you're male and carrying a clipboard, you appear as an authority figure, right? So of course the theyby like walked right up to him and was like, can you believe these assholes, or something. Luckily I didn't hear that as it happened, but since I've watched the video, now I know he said that. And that guy, I think he was just trying to deflect. He was like, oh yeah, they're fucking stupid or something, because he did, you can actually hear him say that on the video. But anyway, I think that the gal that was with the theyby, yeah, he was with another gal who was wearing heels that were like this high. Such dumb, such hop. She invaded my personal space and grabbed my sign, and I think she like banged it with her purse or something. I don't know what she did, but she clearly messed with it, and that was not cool. And I also loved being like, how old are you, to this kid, because I could tell he was very young. And he was like, I'm 21. And I'm like, cool, while you were fucking learning long division, I was already in the trans cult, and now I'm out of it. But like, I am older and wiser than a 21-year-old. Like, I don't really know like why that's hard to understand. You know, let me say this is like, while I was still a lib femme, I was rather disturbed that everyone who was also a lib femme, everyone who is all of the people who were, you know, adhering to this, you know, hip new lingo, were all super young people. They were all at the time under 25 or younger, and I was like, you know, 23, 24. I was like, that's weird. You know, it's not a good sign, really. It's not. But so, yeah, she was the one who took my sign and like ran off with it for a second. I don't think she thought that I was gonna run after her, but obviously I did. And then that guy with the clipboard approached us about a preschool, which was entirely unrelated. And I think that he like approached us like that because he was actually just trying to deflect from the angry theyby. Okay, and then this was the next sign that I got shit for, that fucking weirdo Tim got all mad about. Only women and girls menstruate, duh! He got really mad. He was like, well, I'm a woman and I've never menstruated. And I was like, okay, I can tell by your physical appearance that you're not a woman. And he was like, why are you so fucking mean and trans exclusionary or some shit? Like, I don't care. And I think my favorite part of that video, and he's like, it was when he's like, well, I can tell you how much I don't like your son, and I can tell you, and this is my park too, and I can be here and tell you how much I don't like your son, and how bad I think you look, how you like that, or whatever the fuck. Like, I was like, well, I don't, but I do, because I'm getting this hilarious video that's, you know, one for the history archives of how psycho Tims are. Because he dared say that he was a woman and that he didn't have a period. Plenty of women don't have periods for whatever reason, but like they're still women. And this guy was clearly male. So something I will say about both the theyby and the Tim is that like they were extremely condescending. They were like acting like we didn't know what we were talking about, acting like I didn't know what I was talking about. Like, I'm pretty sure if I made a sign about it, I fucking know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I know what I'm talking about. And like, and there's one point where he was like, I was like, what do you want me to say? And he was like, I want you to think about it. I want you to think about the fact that you just look really fucking dumb, and you look like you look like a big old dork. And I'm like, well, one, I look better than any Tim, and two, like, I'm allowed, and I like, he was also clearly upset that I was a woman expressing my opinion. Okay, so, gals, the thing is that y'all have to do this, honestly. If y'all want to, like, stop the trender madness, like, y'all have to do this too. Like, y'all should do this too, okay? Um, Something that I was rather proud of, and I hadn't even thought about it until I laid out all the signs, is like how much space they took up. They took up so much space, and then a lot of them were also double-sided. So, people would stop and look at my signs, and then I, like, when they were done looking, I'd be like, oh wait, and I just flip around, But so, yeah. Go to things like this, make a bunch of radical signs, take up space because it's your constitutional right to do so. Bring a friend or friends if you have to. If there are multiple of you, like, you're gonna feel better, like, truly. Just like, we have to do these things. And like, I'm not gonna fucking go to another Wemixon's march, because they only happen once a year, and I don't think I'll be going to one next year. But like, I'm just saying, when it comes down to it, like, you ought to go out and be radical in public, because that's the only way we get things done. And like, it's not wrong to say that only women and girls menstruate, because they do. I feel like I was gonna say something else. Yeah, I mean, just their overall demeanor was extremely condescending towards me. Oh, I was gonna say that, okay, this is what I was gonna say. There was a guy holding a camera, very nearby, who was, like, kind of walking towards us, but, like, not really. That Tim, that was like, how do you like that? That's, like, honestly kind of rapey, though. Like, his vibe was, like, very, extremely uncomfortable. And he was basically just implying that he was going to stay there as long as he pleased and insult me about my sign, which is great. So a guy was kind of walking towards us with a camera, and I was saying to that guy, because it would have been a really good picture of me and Delaney having it out with these two trenders. I was like, take our picture. And then as soon as I said that, as soon as the Tim understood that I was trying to get our picture taken, he didn't even know I was taking video, though. He was like, oh, they're getting there. They might take our picture. Let's get out of here. And he, like, ran off. Maybe because he didn't run, by the way. Just putting that out there. He probably didn't want his face recorded. He probably knew that he was acting stupidly, because as soon as he had to start, like, insulting my appearance and saying, like, you just look like a big fucking dork, you just look so bad, you should go join the Young Republicans, I think he knew that he was acting, in a way that was not admirable. He knew he was acting out, and, like, yeah, as soon as the prospect of a picture being taken was there, he just dipped. What does that tell you? I think that's all I want to say for today. But I just thought I'd give you a little bit more context about those vids, and stay away from the theybies and stay away from the Tims, and make sure you take up a lot of radical women's space at your earliest opportunity. Okay? Bye.